Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about Series 1, Story number 2 of Blakes7, Battleground. Written by Andrew, friend of the podcaster, Smith, and directed by Ken Bentley. You've got your basic standard cast. You've got Gareth Thomas, your Paul Darrow, your Michael Keating, your Jan Chappell, your Sally Knyvette, whose name I could never pronounce, Alistair Lock, doing Zen and Orac, but then a name turns up that I think you might recognise. Dan Starkey, playing Voss Ferrell. Now, let's read the synopsis before I break into any form of a review. Blake and the crew of the Liberator have a new mission, and their target is on Straxis, a planet known as Battleground 9. Because Straxis is a training ground for thousands of Federation troops, the Liberator has journeyed directly into their sights. Has Blake finally picked a battle he can't possibly win? Well, perhaps. Last time I forgot to mention that one of the things that was mentioned in passing was the existence of Federac. Federac is the Federation's version of Orac. A bit scary if you happen to be Orac, because he is worried about an upgrade. It's like an iPad being scared of the iPad 5. Perhaps that would happen, perhaps it wouldn't. Perhaps Apple would just say everyone's hunky and dory. Perhaps I'm picking on Apple users once again, and I really need to move on from that. I'm a PC and Android user through and through, and that's something I need to deal with, not you. Back to Blake7? I think so. Battleground is a brilliant idea. Yes, it's a prison planet. It's a training ground for the Federation, and the Federation officer in question is played by Dan Starkey, who is, as we all know, a fantastic Sontaran. Now, if you're concerned about your Sontarans being, well, a bit rubbish these days, listen to this story. Dan Starkey shows you what a great Sontaran he could be, and a military leader, and what a great incompetent Sontaran he can pull off. It's great. Because his performance isn't that of another Sontaran. That was me cheapening things. But he is such a great voice, and it's lovely to have him back. Of course, you've got your actual proper storyline with them wandering around the world, and it fits perfectly in with this. Yes, you've got rebels with and without causes going on here, and you've got people trying to survive, but it's the basic concept created by Andrew Smith that just pulls everything together. Yes, you've got Cygnus Alpha just to get rid of the undesirables who are a bit rubbish and they could die out, but there are other prison worlds, and this one is used for target practice. This is where you put people who you just want to get rid of, and that works for me. Of course, the problem with being a bit incompetent as a leader, taking on people who aren't incompetent, means you're probably going to lose, regardless of how much weaponry you have. So that works. And, a bit like the war games, you have the whole planet split into zones, areas, combat training grounds. It just feels like an episode of Blake7, and it works so well. So, would I recommend Battleground? Wholeheartedly. Do you want to hear the trailer? I think you do. So I'll say farewell and let you listen to that, and I'll speak to you very soon about something else. Be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Blake7, the classic audio adventures.
I'm taking Liberator in on manual. We'll be in teleport range in 2 minutes.
What the hell was that?
Information. Liberator has been attacked.
You don't say.
Put up the force wall.
Confirm.
Message to all ground commanders. Initiate the final phase. Let's crush these rebels once and for all.
Blake, we can't take much more of this. We've got to make a run for it.
All of a sudden, a planet swarming with Federation troopers seems like a preferred option.
This is foolish, reckless. You're teleporting into the biggest concentration of Federation military we've ever come across.
Foolish, reckless. This plan's got you written all over it, Blake.
Liberator! Teleport! Teleport now!
My name is Avon. Kerr Avon.
Kerr Avon? You're one of Blake's people.
I'm not with his group anymore. We had a falling out.
I need teleport now!
And then there was one.
Our hostage arrives, which you may be unnecessary.
As a hostage, it's nice to be superfluous.
How long have you been here?
You don't seem very pleased to see me, Blake.
Subscribers get more at bigfinish.com.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast, available on RSS, iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Boom and Tumblr. Doctor Who and its associated works are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. You can contact the show, donate, buy merchandise or find out more about my other projects by visiting the Tin Dog Podcast homepage and clicking on the links. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.